Everyone is joining. This is great. Right, I think we're going to kick off then. Today's session is called Shaping the Future of Work with Monday.com AI. What we're covering today is real available capability that is changing the way teams actually work. So I'm really glad that you're all here. Just a note that if at any point you have any questions, please feel to bring them into the chat where one of my colleagues will happily answer them to the best of their abilities. So, hi everyone, I'm Taryn. I'm the Senior Success Manager at Cloud Concept. We're a Monday.com Silver partner in South Africa and a Platinum partner in the GCC region. And our focus is helping organizations get real measurable value from Monday.com. So my job day to day is making sure the teams I work with aren't just using Monday, they're genuinely thriving on it. And today is very much in that spirit. By the end of this webinar, I think you'll have a completely different picture of what Monday AI can do for your teams right now. Here's what we're covering today, and there's a lot of ground to cover, so I'll be moving with purpose. We have 5 core areas. We've got Monday AI blocks, Sidekick, Vibe, AI workflows, and AI agents. And each of these is a real-life feature, not a roadmap promise. And just so that you know what to expect, I'll be switching between these slides and a live Monday.com demo after each feature section. So you'll get to see everything in action and not just on a slide. So let's get into it. So AI blocks. This is really the foundation of everything else we're going to talk about today. These are the building blocks that make Monday genuinely intelligent. Let me set the scene before we get into the specifics. AI blocks are pre-built AI actions that live directly inside your Monday workflows. You can think of them as intelligent steps inside your automation recipes. Instead of just moving data around, they're actually reasoning about it. So things like summarizing a long thread of updates, extracting key information from a submitted form, categorizing incoming requests by type or urgency, generating a first draft reply, or even scoring a lead based on criteria you define. These are actions that are used to require either a human or a complex third-party AI integration. Now they live natively inside Monday and fire automatically as part of your workflow. So the key thing I want you to take away from this slide is that AI blocks sit inside the same automation builder you already know. There's no new interface to learn. And here's the full library of what AI blocks can do. And this list is growing. So categorize, translate, improve text, extract information, assist with writing tasks, detect sentiment, and plenty more. These are all available today inside your automations on any board. So let me stop describing it and show you. I'm going to switch to my screen now so that we can walk through AI blocks live inside Monday. So what you'll see here is a use case specifically for recruiters, and I've named it the candidate tracker. And what I've got is the recruitment candidate, the recruiter, the status, the position applied, critically the CV that's been attached. And the AI columns have been specifically configured to autofill according to the commands that you have and prompts that you have put in place. And while I open it here, I'll just show you that you're able to extract a candidate summary from the CV directly. So what you'll see is when a CV is attached, a very quick candidate summary is AI generated. The same can be said for the key skills, where what we've done as well is we've asked AI to autofill this column. And what it's done is it's extracted the key skills from extrapolating in the CV. So instead of having to fish through all of this data manually, you'd be in a position to very quickly and very easily extract this information onto your Monday board. So what we've done here specifically for AI is we've asked it whether the candidate has a degree, yes or no, from the CV, and it's extracted that from the exact document that's been attached for that particular candidate. It also pulls the phone number and the email address which is wonderful. So what we can also do is, for a lot of organizations, they will advertise roles with a form on their website, for example. So we've got David Martinez, who's applied for the senior software engineer. If we just upload his CV, just give it a minute. There we go. So you submit that form, and it should populate the main table almost immediately. So there is David Martinez. He's just been added as a new application. He's been assigned a recruiter. He's applied for the senior software engineer position, and his CV is attached. So whilst I look at this, the AI columns are in the process of populating that information as we speak. This is an enormous time saver, and it is a very, very easy way to stay efficient and on top of the candidates that are in your candidate pool. There we go. So it's pulled the summary and the key skills and whether or not they have a degree. And this process can be replicated in any use case. I have clients that are specifically looking to extract information from invoices that have been uploaded, which really, really helps at a glance have that information in front of you. Another use case I quickly want to show you for the AI blocks is a really, really interesting use case around customer feedback. So what will happen is specific customers like Jose Nunez and Jose Dlamini, Johan Smith, Bongani Zulu will send specific feedback, and you will be able to get their customer email, the same situation where they would fill out a customer feedback form and they write their feedback in there, and then it is added automatically. What you'll see is that typically this feedback is received in their native language. And what you can ask the AI columns to do is to detect the language, which is fantastic. So what it actually does is it reads the feedback that has been specifically into by the client, and it ultimately will assign a label and categorize these labels according to the detected language used in the feedback column. The translation into English is a really unique feature because it will allow anybody who is handling the customer feedback to handle this information handle this feedback in English. The translation will then be summarized by an AI column, and the sentiment can be detected quite easily for you to immediately prioritize the negative and or neutral sentiment to manage your customer feedback in a much more efficient way. What you can also do is ask the AI columns to fill the column according to the specific type of query. And this is also done using a specific translation, and it will assign the label according to what is in the feedback. It will automatically respond. So this is also fantastic in the sense that you can have an auto-assigned responder on the specific customer feedback request. And even better, it can auto-draft a response based on the specific sentiment. I'll show you quickly the settings. So send a customer reply to this feedback or query based on the translation and taking the sentiment into account. So the reply is based on what exactly has taken place in terms of the feedback, the sentiment that's been detected, and it's been automatically drafted and customized for that particular client. To take this one step further, we're also in a position to actually get the reply to translate back into the original language that the customer feedback was sent. So there is absolutely seamless and really, really the customer milestones that you're reaching and those touch points are in a way that resonates with the original customer feedback that was sent. And as you can see, any and all reviewed feedback where the user has been notified can be categorized in a separate group on this board. So you've seen how AI blocks can wire intelligence directly into your automations. Now let me show you what happens when that same intelligence is embedded into your day-to-day workspace. This is Sidekick, and this is the one that people usually lean forward for. The big idea behind Sidekick is simple. AI shouldn't be something that you leave your work to go and use. You shouldn't have to open a separate tab, copy your context into ChatGPT, get an answer, and paste it back. That friction is exactly what stops people from building AI into their actual daily habits. Sidekick eliminates that friction entirely. It's embedded right inside the Monday interface, contextually aware of the board you're on, the item you're looking at, the updates in your thread. You click the star and it already knows what you're dealing with. So there's no file uploads, no explaining your workflow, no here's some background context. It just gets straight to work. And here's what Sidekick can actually do in practice. So it creates content, optimizes workflows, adds columns, runs calculations, sends updates in Slack or Teams, brainstorms ideas, surfaces insights, and much, much more. So for a project manager running 5 concurrent work streams, being able to ask immediately what's at risk this week and get a real context-aware answer without leaving Monday is genuinely hours back in your week. So let me show you. I'm going to switch to my screen now. So here I have a webinars board, which we obviously make use of quite extensively at Cloud Concept, and I thought it would be a good contextual answer for you guys to have a look at. So I'm going to go to my AI Sidekick and just open it up. You should be able to see that clearly, I hope. And what you'll see is that it's grounded within the webinars board. So any question that you ask the AI is going to have relevance directly onto this particular board. So I've asked, based on our webinar program board, what preparation tasks are still outstanding for the AI webinar, and create a checklist of action items with suggested owners and due dates. This is going to save you so much time because instead of searching through the boards manually, what you're simply doing is asking the AI Sidekick to extrapolate this information for you in a readily acceptable and accessible way. And so there we go. The outstanding preparation tasks for the AI webinar, which is taking place over here on the 2nd of June. It'll show you the webinar, the scheduled date, the presenter, the critical priority, and it shows you that what is due today, who is responsible, what is due this week, what is due next week, and the recommendations, which is fantastic. So what is also quite exciting is that you're able to actually recommending tasks for their next steps, which is also really, really great. What I also want Sidekick to do is actually look at the web upcoming webinars and draft a LinkedIn post. So I can quickly just copy and paste. Look at our upcoming webinars and draft a LinkedIn post announcing the AI webinar. Include the key topics we're covering, make it engaging, and add relevant hashtags. So it's just going to think for a little bit while it examines the board items, and it looks through everything to make sure that you're able to do a really impressive webinar post on LinkedIn. So here it is. Unlock the power of AI. Join our free webinar. And so it will show you specifically what the webinar is all about, who's presenting it, who it's for, and how to register with the registrar link. And of course, it's got the AI intelligence. So what's quite exciting is you can save this as a doc within the actual Monday platform, or you can just copy and paste it directly into your LinkedIn. So this is really, really exciting stuff that it is able to produce for you. But if I don't want to stop there, I want to create an image or a banner for this particular event to also put on LinkedIn. So I'm going to ask Sidekick to create an image or banner for the AI webinar, include all relevant details, and ensure it is a clear image advertising the webinar to potential customers. So we'll just give it a moment to think. And what it's doing again is it's rooted directly into this particular webinars board, and it's going to pull all of the relevant information together to produce an image in the same way that other LLMs would to find the best result. And it's just going to take a few moments, and it will produce multiple options for you to choose from. Just going to give it a minute to do its thing. But you can see that the benefits here are absolutely endless. The only limit is your creativity when you are actually using Sidekick, because it's literally your sidekick when you're working from a board. So it's created 3 professional banner options, and each includes the event title, the date, the duration, the presenter. There we go. So you've got 3 options that you can choose from. And all of these can be added to your LinkedIn post to advertise that particular webinar. And this was created in minutes on Sidekick. So there are endless use cases which are fantastic for Sidekick, and I really want you to, I encourage you to be as creative as possible when you're using it. So we have AI building intelligence into our automations, and AI sitting alongside us as an embedded assistant. Now I want to show you something that genuinely surprised me the first time I saw it. This is Monday Vibe. Monday Vibe is an AI-powered no-code builder that turns prompts into fully functional, secure custom apps that run on the monday.com platform. Monday Vibe also answers a question that a lot of organizations have sitting in the background. How do we build custom tools and internal apps without raising a development ticket or waiting in a backlog that never moves? The answer is you describe what you want and Vibe builds it. We're talking about fully functional enterprise-grade business applications built in minutes through a conversational prompt. So you tell Monday what the app needs to do, what data it needs to connect to, and how it should look, and Vibe generates it. And critically, it's not built in isolation. So it's connected to your Monday data, and it's built right into your workspace. It's not a prototype, it's a live working app. And as I say, the only limit here is your creativity. No code, no limits. So any team, whether it's operations, HR, finance, customer success, they can build the exact tool they need without a developer. So you need a client portal, you can build it. You need a custom intake form with conditional logic and automated routing, build it. Need a dashboard that surfaces exactly the metrics your exec team wants to see, formatted exactly how they want to see it, build it. The implication is very significant here. Your monday.com investment starts covering territory that previously required bespoke software and long delivery timelines. So let me show you this live. It's one of those features that really needs to be seen. Right, so what we've got here are a series of projects that you will have in your portfolio. Project Alpha, Eta, Delta, Beta, Theta, etc. And they are all around the mobile app, the web app, and the database project that are being built. As you can see, there are several different columns that will actually show you things from progress to priority to the stage, to the planned and actual timelines, the allocated budget and cost, and a description of the project in detail. So this would be just as an example of the many, many projects that you will have in your portfolio. And what we've actually done is created a Vibe that shows an executive PMO dashboard. And this is absolutely spectacular because it shows you at a glance each and every project according to health, according to name, according to where they are. And you can narrow it down according to health, budget, priority, etc. You can also see the portfolio dashboard. Now, this is really, really excellent in the sense that you're able to actually see the total portfolio budget, how many active projects, how many projects are currently at risk, the percentage of on-time delivery, the average portfolio health, budget consumption, resource utilization, and the portfolio health flow, depending on which area it specifically addresses that project. So this is really an option for any and all executive members to create an app that can show them exactly the kind of information that they are looking for at a glance, and it's updated in real time. So the budget overview will show you the budget consumed, the budget remaining. We've also got a timeline and delivery heat map, which will show any delay indicators. What we've also got is another Vibe app that was created specifically because we had a client who was creating presentations using the Monday dashboards on a regular basis, and it was taking up a lot of her time. So we created a Vibe app that allowed us to create a live project presentation overview with each individual agenda item specifically laid out to make sure that each and every project was captured in terms of their key metrics across all projects for the portfolio. And this will capture the project scope, the planned timeline, the allocated budget. It will show you that it's in progress, on track, and critical for each and every one of the projects. And this can be very quickly and easily downloaded on a weekly or even daily basis to be distributed to executives across the board. Now, this is really relevant for people that are working within the marketing sector, marketing use cases. There are executive level project presentations that are required for any and all applications across many use cases. So this is something that I feel would be really, really relevant for anybody who is looking to create something that could actually have an impact on how you create and use Vibe within your organization. So now let's look at how all of these capabilities connect. This is AI workflows. AI workflows represent Monday's evolution of the classic automation recipe into something far more dynamic. So where traditional automations follow a fixed linear path, so if this, then that, AI workflows incorporate reasoning, branching logic, and AI-generated outputs at multiple points in the same flow. So you can think of it as the difference between a script and a conversation. Traditional automation follows its script regardless of context, whereas an AI workflow can adapt. It looks at the data, applies logic, and takes the most appropriate next step. So for teams managing complex processes like approvals, onboarding, procurement, incident response, this is a meaningful upgrade. You're not just automating repetitive tasks, you're automating judgment. So let me show you a workflow in action with AI next. So what I've got here is a Sidekick workflow, and it's just a simple representation so that I can show you when a project status change, when a status change on Project Alpha and it becomes stuck, what it will do is it calls Sidekick, and it will check the project board in its entirety and send a notification to the task owner how it will affect the project and update the project health accordingly. Another example that we've got, which is also very relevant specifically for projects and project managers. When an item is created in the project's overview board, it will call Sidekick and check the PMO team availability and assign the project manager accordingly. So instead of manually having to look at the workload for each individual project manager, Sidekick will do this by looking at the board automatically, which is wonderful. And then what I want to show you is if you want to create your own workflow, let's just call this AI webinar workflow. Let's just give it a minute. So instead of manually doing this, what you can also do is build your workflow with AI. And what I've said here is that I've said when a webinar date from the webinars board that we showed you earlier arrives, call Sidekick to summarize the webinar pending tasks and then send an email to the presenter 2 days before the webinar date arrives as a reminder. So once again, Sidekick is in a position to help you create specific AI workflows. We'll just give it a minute to process that. There we go. Wonderful. So when a date arrives on the webinars board, and we'll ask it 2 days. Oh, sorry. We'll just say one day before the date at this particular time, call Sidekick. And you can add specific instructions that you would like to incorporate where Sidekick is available. Okay, so all of this brings us to the frontier of what Monday is building, AI agents. Agents represent a shift from reactive automation to proactive, goal-orientated AI. Where an automation responds to a trigger, an agent is given an objective and figures out how to achieve it. So taking sequences of actions, checking in where needed, and adapting based on what it finds. The framing that I like to use with clients is this. An automation is a tool. An agent is a team member. So it operates with a level of initiative that standard automation simply doesn't have. We're in relatively early days with agents as a broad enterprise concept, but Monday is investing very heavily here. And what's already available is genuinely powerful. I'm going to show you something that I've created as an AI agent. I created an agent called Tembi, who I created to be a talent acquisition agent, and I want to show you her in action. So what you'll notice is your Monday AI columns on the side will show you exactly where to find AI agents. There we go. I've got Tembi in action. And Tembi is controlled and trained by her brain, where the triggers show you when an item is created in the candidate tracker board. The objective is specifically to review new candidates added to the candidate tracker, evaluate their fit for the applied role, and apply a structured screening recommendation. So the outputs I've asked is for suitability column updated with the shortlist decision, and the agent recommendation column to be populated with a structured recommendation. Update is posted on the item, tagged to the hiring manager, summarizing the evaluation and decision. So let's see her in action. We're all familiar with this board. And what I'm going to do is show you specifically what Tembi has done. These are the outputs. So she's filled out the excellent fit, and she's given a very substantial candidate evaluation for each client. Let's just show you in action. So we've got a candidate called Emma Williams, who's a senior data analyst. And if we submit Emma, as a senior data analyst, and we just update her CV. And we submit that. It should pull through immediately. And then you can see on the side here, Tembi is immediately thinking, and she's in action, and she's doing what she needs to do, as well as the aforementioned AI blocks. They'll be filling in and populating the candidate summary, key skills, degree, pulling all of the necessary information from the CV, like the cell phone and the email address. But it's going to take it one step further and actually read the board items and do a screening recommendation for each and every candidate. So we'll just give her a minute to do her thing. As you can see, she's evaluating candidates and recommending decisions. There we go. Excellent fit. And the candidate screening recommendation for Emma Williams as the data analyst. She's given her a 9 out of 10 suitability score. A shortlist decision is to shortlist. She's given us an overview of the candidate, 3 reasons she is a strong fit, 2 potential concerns or gaps, and that is Tembi in action. So I hope you've enjoyed that. And I really do think that the AI agents, that's just one example of the many different applications that you are able to actually implement. And that brings us to the end of today's session. I just want to thank you genuinely for your time and attention. this is a set of capabilities that I care about deeply, and I hope it's landed in the way I intended. So if you're sitting there thinking, I don't know where we'd even start, that's exactly where I'm here for. So whether it's an AI readiness review for your specific workflows, a hands-on workshop with your team, or just a conversation about where your biggest bottlenecks are, let's have that chat. I also recognize that many of you are coming from different backgrounds and sectors. So if you'd like to discuss more about how this applies to your specific use case, please do get in touch. And yeah, if you have any further questions or queries, I'd love to continue the conversation. Perfect. Okay, great. Well, if there are any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me or Jean directly. We're obviously, as you said, we love questions. We're very, very excited about the AI functionality and the features and what they can do for your platform, and to maximize the efficiency and the value that you're gaining every single day by using the Monday platform. So please don't hesitate with any questions or queries. And thank you guys all for making the time this morning. It's been a pleasure to have you. I hope it's been insightful. I hope it's been enlightening, and looking forward to catching up with you all again very soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Taryn, and thanks everyone for joining us.
Alrighty. Thank you.